Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this with intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. A give to Bell. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
Now the Packers get set to go. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks
and he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great play there. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And out come the Chiefs now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. We're back now in KC. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They come up in an offset eye. Here's Newton. Quick slant. That's caught by the veteran Macklin. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Simple slant route, and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Macklin. A gain of 6 there on 1st. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. Bell shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. They're going to hurry back to the line now. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
We have so many different terms for 3rd down, 3rd and short, 3rd and long, 3rd and manageable. How about 3rd and medium? Because that's what this one was. The defense looked like they had him hemmed in, but he gets away, evades the rush, and picks up just enough for the 1st down.
And the play clock's running down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They come up in an offset eye. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Wake up. That's it. 180. Come on, man. 180.
Newton's going to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And they went big on 1st down. Proves unfruitful.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
He's back to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. And now here comes Kansas City. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game. Although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out by taking care of the football.
They'll try to close it out now. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Fuller brings it in over the middle. A gain of 6 there on first. That time they hit him out of the slot. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. To throw is Newton. This will be caught inside the 10. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. A little insult to injury here late in the game. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They have time here, partner, for just 1 final heave.
And I have to look at from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also...
a crusher there as it's intercepted. Terrence Newman with a pick. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on.